Hey guys, I'm Nisha Homi. Today I'm sharing Hyderabadi style vegetable dum biryani. This vegetable dum biryani is easy to make and super healthy. So let's get started with the recipe. To make veg Hyderabadi style dum biryani, first let's make a homemade biryani masala, and for that into my small chutney grinder I'm adding in 6 green cardamoms, 1 stick cinnamon which I am breaking into small pieces and I am adding in 6 to 7 cloves, half of a mace, half of a star anise, half teaspoon whole black peppercorns, 1 tablespoon organic coriander seeds, half of a nutmeg, 1 black cardamom, 1 teaspoon shah jeera, and I'm going to grind this to a fine powder. Okay, now the biryani masala is nicely ground. I'm going to transfer to a bowl and I'm going to keep this aside. This biryani masala will stay good for many months, so you may be having little extra biryani masala after making the veg biryani, which you can easily store in an airtight glass container and use it the next time. So my homemade biryani masala is ready. I'm going to keep this aside. Into a bowl I am adding in 1.5 cups of organic basmati rice. So this is 1.5 cups of basmati rice. Into this I am adding in some water and I'm going to rinse the basmati rice a couple of times. Once rinsed, add in some more water and allow the basmati rice to soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now I'm making a green masala and I'm using this same chutney grinder in which I ground the biryani masala. Into this I'm adding in 15 garlic cloves, 2 green chillies, 1.5 inch ginger which I'm roughly chopping and adding in. Next I'm adding in a handful of coriander leaves. I'm just roughly slicing the leaves and adding in. I'm also adding in the stalks as well. 4 to 5 sprigs of mint leaves, and I'm grinding this coarsely. Now you can increase or decrease green chilli as per your taste. Okay, now the green masala is coarsely ground, so I'm going to keep this aside. The vegetables I'm using in this biryani are 1 cup of cauliflower, half a cup or 1 medium-sized carrot, half a cup or a handful of beans, half of a capsicum and half a cup of green peas. Now instead of the vegetables I'm using, you can use any vegetable of your choice which are locally available and is in season. I have already thinly sliced 2 onions. To make the biryani, I am using a heavy bottomed wide pan. Once the pan is heated, I am adding in 2 tablespoons wood pressed groundnut oil. Instead of wood pressed groundnut oil, you can use any locally sourced wood pressed oils of your choice or even A2 desi ghee. Once the oil is heated, I am adding in 2 tablespoons raisins. Lightly roast the raisins, and once the raisin starts to puff up, remove to a plate. Next I'm adding in a handful or 2 tablespoons cashew nuts, and I'm lightly roasting the cashew nuts. And once the cashew nut starts to get lightly roasted, remove to a plate. Next I'm adding in the sliced onions. Fry the onions until it is golden and crisp. You need to make this into crisp and golden brown. The onions has started to turn into golden color. While the onions are getting fried, I'm going to rinse and wash the rice a couple of times and then keep it on a strainer. And I have rinsed the rice and kept it on a strainer. And once the onions are golden brown and is nice and crisp, I'm removing half of the fried onions into another plate. Now this is to garnish. Now into this I am adding in the ground green masala. Give it a stir. Into this I am adding in half teaspoon turmeric powder. Today I am using Vigon turmeric which has high curcumin content. 1 teaspoon Kashmiri chili powder, and I am quickly giving it a mix. And allow the spices to get sauteed for about 20 to 30 seconds so that the raw flavor is diminished. Now into this I am adding in the vegetables. I am adding in half cup vegan curd. Today I am using cashew curd. If you don't have any issues with dairy milk, you can use dairy milk curd instead. I'll give this a good mix. I'm adding in 1/4 cup of water into the bowl in which I had measured the vegan curd. Adding the water into the vegetables. And now give it a good mix. Into this I'm adding in 1 heaped teaspoon of the freshly ground biryani masala. Give it a good mix. Add in pink Himalayan salt as needed. Mix well, cover and allow the vegetables to get cooked on low flame. While the vegetables are getting cooked, I am heating a saucepan with about 8 cups of water. Into that I am adding in 3 cardamom, 3/4 teaspoon shah jeera, a small stick of cinnamon which I am breaking into small pieces and adding in 3 cloves, 1/4 of a mace. Mace will give an amazing flavor to the cooked basmati rice, so try not to omit it. Meanwhile, let's check on the vegetables. Give it a good stir. At this stage you can check salt. If you feel you need more salt, you can add in and cover and let it cook. Add in 1 bay leaf, 1 black cardamom and 1 star anise. Into this I am adding in pink Himalayan salt as needed. Once it comes to a rolling boil, reduce the flame to the lowest. When the spices simmer in the water, the flavor of the spices will be released into the water and that will give the rice an amazing aroma once it has cooked. So into this I am adding in the rinsed and strained rice. Give it a good stir. And once it boils, reduce the flame to lowest and allow the rice to get cooked. Let's check whether the rice has cooked. Right now the rice has cooked 50%. So I'm going to allow it to simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes later, let's check on the rice. Okay, the rice has now cooked to almost 75-80%. At this stage, I am straining the rice. You can see that the rice is perfectly cooked and it is non-sticky. Let's open the lid. And lastly, I am adding in 2 tablespoons vegan curd and I am giving it a good mix. I am sprinkling in some coriander leaves. Remember, the flame is on the lowest. Some cashew nuts, raisins, the fried onions on top, and then I am topping it with the basmati rice. Some coriander leaves on top, mint leaves on top, half teaspoon of the freshly ground biryani masala, and give this a good mix. And lightly press it down, sprinkle nuts and raisins and just crush the fried onions and sprinkle on top. Just a fat pinch of the freshly ground biryani masala, 1 teaspoon wood pressed groundnut oil. You can also drizzle a teaspoon of A2 desi ghee. And lastly, I am sprinkling in a couple of saffron. Squeeze in 1 lemon. Cover and let it dum cook on low flame for about 10 to 12 minutes. I do have some biryani masala left. I'll be storing this in an airtight glass container. 10 to 12 minutes later, turn off the flame. Okay, now let's open the lid. The flavor of this biryani is amazing. Let me show you how perfectly the biryani has come out. You can see that the rice is not even sticking. You can enjoy this biryani with any pickle, raita and papad. So guys, do try this healthy vegetable dum biryani and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.